and welcome to another episode of the Good Keyboard Friends podcast. My name is Hubert the Mad. I am one of the co-hosts. It is a Friday night in the States here, so obviously Tangus and James couldn't make it because it's it's like 3 a.m. over there for them, or 2 a.m. Simon usually comes to these US night episodes, but he is dealing with some things with his back. We wish him all the best. I think it'll be fine because we still see him talk in Discord, right? So I'm I'm not saying that if he's not talking, like shit's gone south, but I think things will be fine. But we wish him the best.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
I I have I have caught someone. I have cornered someone, and I have forced him to join me on this Friday night because I don't want to be lonely. It's the one, the only Warhopper. Welcome, Warhopper.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm glad to make it work and be here.
Oh, dude. We were talking before I hit record, but I was saying that I was so grateful for him keep just putting up with me because I've been going back and forth with him for many weeks, even months to try and figure out a date and time for him. And today's the day. So, oh man, it's amazing. It's amazing to have you. It's amazing to hang out with you on this Friday night. Um, I don't want to dox you first and foremost, or maybe I do. But
I
what
took
what
down
is
the big picture of my driver's license behind me just in case.
what? How has your week been? Like, what's going on this week? How is work? You don't have to say where you work and things like that. But how is life in Warhopper land this week?
I mean, it's good. As far as it goes, it's busy at work. It's pretty much always busy at work, but it's been an especially busy week. But, the weekend's here and I can enjoy it and hang out all weekend, man.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Uh, we touched on it real briefly, but it's hurricane season right now
Yeah, yeah,
where
we
you're
did
at.
touch on it. Yeah, it's hurricane season, and I think pretty much everybody who lives in Texas or at least along the coastline, anywhere probably in the U.S., just getting ready for that, especially a above average season. So everybody's just getting ready.
I'm not a smart man, Warhopper. Uh, but when you say hurricane season, what is the weather like apart from the hurricane? Is it really humid? Is it cool? Like right now, we just survived, I think, like a week and a half of 100 degrees Fahrenheit weather, and it was fucking awful. And today's like 70s. The next couple days will be 70s. But what's it like down there?
I mean, as far as it goes, it's kind of like that too. It's like about 100 most days. I mean, it goes underneath, but humidity, especially along the coastline, is kind of our big thing. I mean, it will come up eventually when we talk about meats that I live in Houston. So Houston especially is super humid, but you get used to it a little bit. You get used to it a little bit.
What is this dry heat that everybody talks about? I wish I could experience it because humid. Oh man.
Man, I don't know. I'm jealous of the dry heat for sure.
Yeah, dude. I don't know about you, but it sucks. The instant I step out and it's humid, I feel like I have to take a shower. It feels like I'm showering, like with the
Yeah.
humidity.
That's the thing, man. It's, you're sweating, it's all over you. You just can't escape it at that point.
Yeah.
It's kind of like those little moments like when you get in your car and it's actually kind of just hot but dry. It's kind of nice.
Do you have any plans? Again, trying not to dox you, but do you have any plans to, do something?
As far as it goes, normally on the weekends, I try to kind of be like more of a homebody, but I do play a lot of pool. So I'm definitely going to go shoot pool on the weekend. And then I think Sunday, I have some friends that are going to go shoot skeet. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Uh, it's like the clay pigeons.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Holy
really like
shit.
doing that. So I'm actually pretty excited about it.
Yeah. All right. So,
Yeah.
all right. Fuck keeps for now.
Yeah.
I want you to talk. I want you to talk to me about pool because I don't know if you watched Community, but whenever I think of pool, I think of Jeff Winger like naked hitting the pool ball, the cue ball. Like it looks so fucking amazing. So tell me how you got into it and how often do you play? Do you consider yourself a professional or whatever?
Not at all a professional. Honestly, I was hanging out with a friend and we were like, man, we never go shoot pool. This was like maybe a year or two ago. And, we should go. There's like one not far from our house. And we started to go and it was like, at first it was every Tuesday. And then we're like, we could get a couple games in on the weekend, just fit in a couple. And then it started being like, okay, now we're going to go Saturday. And then now, sometimes we get a couple in Sunday and you start to meet more people and they're like inviting you out like, hey, I'm gonna go shoot pool tonight, you want to meet me and play a few games, and then you just kind of build up. As far as it goes, it's really relaxing for me. It's away from a computer. I turn off my phone the whole time, and just sit there and hang out with people, all different kinds of people. I think that's the best part is that you're just all talking, people from all walks of life. um, I'm not that great. So people come over. People are friendly too. If you're bad at pool, people come over and are like, hey, this is the better way to take this shot.
Yeah,
You just got
yeah.
to do this. So, it's pretty fun overall.
Damn. So it was something that you never did when you were younger or anything, like just you and your friend were like, hey, let's do this.
Yeah, I mean that really was all it was. Was like one day we decided like, hey, there's one by our house. We should go shoot pool, and then like we went and we like kind of joked like, what if we got really into this? Like we could be like really into pool. And then we started like every week just being like, yeah, maybe we should go up there. It's like a Tuesday anyway, right? So we just kept going.
Damn. Are there pool halls? Is that what they call them?
Yeah,
In Texas?
it's pool halls are we play at betas quite a bit.
Oh. In Iowa, here in Iowa, the pool tables are only part of a bar or things like that. So there's like actual places in Texas where you go and it's just all pool tables and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of them too. I don't know what it is about this area, but I mean there are like every 30 minutes there's at least one dedicated pool hall or at least a beta, which is like billiards and pool at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
please explain to me the difference because I thought they were one and the same.
So billiards is going to be without holes on the table, and you like count how many times you hit two object balls. And then pool is much more. It's like there are a lot of games, but the most common ones are 8 ball and 9 ball. Which is 8 ball is kind of what you always see on like TV and stuff, but a lot of people play 9 ball because it's faster and it's to me a lot funner.
Okay,
Yeah,
so pool has little pockets where you hit the balls in.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And nine ball is the stereotypical you put the balls in the little triangle thingy.
So you do it for both 8 or 9. You put them in the triangle and you break off. The only difference is 8 ball is like there are 15 balls on the table. I think it's 15 now that I'm like under the gun. Now I'm not sure, but it's like 15. And whoever like pockets one, you go stripes versus solid colors and you kind of count up. And then 9 ball is just 1 through 9 and you do the triangle and it's like much shorter, but you shoot in order. So you're trying to get like the first ball in, the second ball, the third ball, the fourth ball. And it has like a strategy around defense. It's a lot easier to grasp as a beginner.
Damn, I've always played me and my dad when I was younger. We played eight ball, I guess, because it was if the stripe goes in the pocket, then I'm stripes. If the solid goes in, I'm solid. So that's eight ball. Okay,
Yeah.
dude, this is so fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, right? I mean, everybody's got hobbies, man. It's fun to talk about your hobbies.
Is there like a hierarchy inside the pool? Also, obviously the community is super nice and things like that. But are there any like famous people like oh shit, there's Warhopper walking in with his friend like you got street cred and stuff like that?
No, there is definitely a beta we play at where there's like a group that is like really good and everybody knows they're really good and people like watch them. And every once in a while I hear them like try to bet money on things and I'm like, "Oh, I would never want to do that with them."
So it's more you do it just because you love it.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
put money down on the line or anything like that.
Yeah, never bet. I feel like that may be the point where I cross the line. It's like, it's fun to do things, but when you're losing money and you're like cycling out, it's like, oh, I don't want to do that. So I just play for fun.
Yeah. Do you and your friend bring your own equipment and things like that, or do they just you just use what's there?
So there definitely is what is there, and you can be good. Like some of the best people I've ever played with have you just use the house sticks and everything, but we do bring our own like square to shoot from and our own sticks. Bring our own pool sticks, yeah.
When you say square, again, I'm I'm a dumbass. What do you think? But what do you mean by square?
You know how there's like the triangle that you shoot from normally? There are like custom ones that kind of like lay on the ground to make it easier. Like, to set
Really?
up quickly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, I wish I could remember the name of them. You can tell I'm like very beginner because someone is gonna watch this and be like, "That's not a triangle. That's a speed square or something." You know?
Dude, you giving me all this information, I'm the beginner. You could say like you play naked, and I'm like, okay, that's regulation.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, how did you know that I play naked?
Oh,
Yeah, different racks. There you go. There's the official term. It's like there are racks.
do you um use a specific style of chalk, like a material?
I just use the house chalk. I do not have a nice enough pool stick. I bought it at like a pawn shop and like got a good deal on it. So I just use whatever's there. But I do see people with like the nice chalk and everything.
So like keyboards, I'm not hating on anybody that uses Hall effect. Please, 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 I'm not hating. What you are explaining is similar to someone that asks me or asks someone, "Hey, I'm a gamer. Should I buy a Hall effect keyboard because I want to game, peak gaming? I want to do the best I can." And the way that you're saying is like, if you're good enough, you could use a like a Logitech or like an OEM from Best Buy. You can still
Yeah.
be really good at gaming. It's
Yeah.
it's, it's more about skill, right?
Yeah. 100%. I mean, it is like, I think that's what one appeal is it. If you mess something up, there's like no luck. It's all skill. And just like that, gaming or whatever, of like, you can blame your like stick or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's you not compensating for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me like an embarrassing story or two when you play when you play pool. It could be when you started beginning, when you
It
began,
doesn't
or it
have
could
to be
be
at the beginning. Trust me. I make a lot of mistakes. But definitely, I went to go break off, and I was trying something new where like I was gonna throw harder without like supporting my hand to try to see if I could like break even harder, right? But just throwing my whole body, and I launched that cue ball and hit like a table and broke a glass. And it was just everywhere. And hey, the beta we were playing at that time was really cool about it. And then I just remember this guy came over and was like, "Why don't we use two hands for now?"
you're like, yep, I will.
Yeah, yeah, I think I will do that. Thank you.
Why don't we use two heads?
Yeah. So,
Oh,
that comes to mind top of all, but, I can
uh,
definitely think of things like just totally whiffing or I think one problem is I get stuck talking to people, and I start, like, talking, and I'm playing, but I'm really talking to people, and I'll end up, like, hitting their ball, or one thing, like, a bunch of people kinda joke about, that I play with semi-often is I'll end up hitting like, instead of the cue ball, I'll hit another ball. 'Cause I'm really not paying attention. And then it's
yeah.
like, "Oh, okay, well, I guess game's over because you've totally broken it at this point." Um, yeah.
Oh my god, that's so awesome. It's just about having fun, right? You get to talking, you're just chilling with friends.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I've never done, like, the leagues. I know a lot of people like the challenge and everything and, like, knowing specifically where you are in terms of skill, but the ideal that, like, it's always in teams, at least in my area. The leagues are all teams. Like, I do not want to fail anybody. As soon as it comes down to like failing somebody, like I'm not going to have fun anymore.
Is it like a monthly pass, or do you have to pay every time you go?
You normally pay every time you go. There's like some night. The reasons we picked Tuesdays originally was because it was like one price for all night, however long you wanted to play. So it was really cheap. So we started doing it that way. And then now the other ones, they're not that expensive. So
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, is it are like $30, $40 a night? Depends on how many games you play, right? Depends on how long you go.
yeah, it's just how many hours you're there. So, I mean, I get out of there for like under $30 and I play like 2 to 3 hours every time.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I'm not saying that my dad and I are professionals or anything, but we get done in like 10 minutes.
You can fit a lot of games in
So
3 hours, but, if you wanna get one in and
yeah,
then just leave, that 10 minutes is probably perfect. You see people do that all the time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And then how did you get into skeet shooting? Is it just called skeet? It's not skeet shooting, right?
I don't know. You know what? We're gonna call it skeet shooting so people don't get
Okay.
confused, right? Um, it is, yeah, skeet shooting. I got into it when a friend invited me. Just one of those things like, "Hey, I have a shotgun and we're gonna go out and do it." There's like a few places you can go, and we're just gonna like they get a little frisbee thrower, and one person literally throws as hard as they can.
Yeah.
And that's how we got into it. And then eventually I got like a really cheap thrower so you can just kick it and it launches them. And then people started inviting me because I have one of the throwers. So
Ah,
yeah, yeah.
how expensive are the things that you have to like the clay pigeons? They're not that
Oh,
expensive.
yeah, they're like nothing. It's like a pack of 100 is like $10. By the time you get through 100, you're tired. I mean, your shoulder hurts. You want to go home. It's hot, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's and where do you rank yourself when you do skeet shooting? When you go skeet shooting?
I think I'm like maybe definitely not competitive, but maybe I'm above average. Like
Yeah.
I do pretty good. I do pretty good with groups I go with. Yeah, I think I come out actually pretty far ahead.
Again, you can legit tell me, you close your eyes, I would not know any better. Is it true that you're not supposed to squint or close one eye? Or wait, hold on. It's a two-parter. So what's the optimal technique? You don't put the shotgun obviously close to your face because it's not like a I don't know, it doesn't have like a sight or anything, right? You just shoot where you look and you keep both eyes open or what's the technique?
You kind of get a feeling for it, but there is definitely like at the end of the barrel, there is a dot that they weld on, and that's like dead center. And then I have like kind of an over and under. I got like a few times ago when I actually at the beginning of the summer, I got from somebody. So you put that on your shoulder and you shoot, and it does the bottom barrel and then the top barrel every time. So I kind of you get the feeling after you do it a couple times and you kind of see where the BB's following and where's kind of the zone where you can hit when during the arc. You kind of get the feeling more. So you do become a little bit more like feeling wise.
Okay. You
Yeah.
you said BB. All this time I thought you were shooting like actual slugs, like shotgun.
Yeah, it's definitely
Or
shotgun shells, but there are
oh,
pellets
okay.
inside of them for birdshot.
Ah,
Yeah,
I
so
see, I
you get
see.
like a big thing, but then normally weld a BB on the end of the shotgun barrel so you can kind of tell where you're aiming. I'm not saying you're gonna like knock it out of the park, but like you get general gist.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the process to do that? At least in Texas, like you have to register or you have to go through some firearms course or something like that, or just
No, yeah, no. It in Texas, I mean, it's very loose. You turn
yeah.
18, you can go start. I mean, you have to do a background check if you're buying from a shop or something like that. But like, at least to my understanding, private sale you don't have to do. So I'm sure there's a whole political discussion on that too. But Texas is very loose on it. Yeah, I mean, I traded for this shotgun even. Like, I just met a guy at a police station and traded another gun for it. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah, and but you do have to go to dedicated places, or you could just go to like a friend's backyard where there's a bunch of nature and just
You definitely probably could, like, out on some land. I live enough in the city that I don't know anybody who's wealthy enough to own a bunch of land. So, there's a, dedicated area to kinda, like I wouldn't even say it's the country. You can literally see in the distance, like, a neighborhood, like a
oh,
normal suburban neighborhood, but they have, like, enough of an area that it's not a problem with things going that far.
the thing that I never knew. And again, I never bothered to Google it or anything. So my little brother and we like to do archery.
Okay.
Um, I never knew that you couldn't just put something in your backyard and shoot from your backyard. I didn't know that was a thing, and maybe it depends where in Iowa you do it. But we got into a little bit of trouble like a month or two ago. We've been doing this for years. So the backyard of our house. we share with someone else. There's some weird thing in our neighborhood where we can't have a full fence around our entire property. So nobody has a full fence. So it's
Oh,
backyard spilling into the neighbor's backyard, and it's like that for the whole neighborhood. There's trees and there's it's pretty easy to figure out the boundaries though, right? But we would always go maybe I don't know 15 20 yards from the patio, and we would stick just I don't know a cardboard box or an actual archery target, and we'd stand on the patio and we just you know shoot bow and arrow, just do that for years.
yeah.
And, and then a police officer came by because sometimes they do I don't know neighborhood things. They just cruise around in neighborhoods and stuff like that. And they stopped by our house. I'm like, oh no, what's going on? And then he's like, hey, you can't necessarily do that. You have to go to somewhere like a range or something like that. And I'm like, I don't want to question you because obviously you're the police officer and I don't know anything. So I guess that's not legal. But yeah, for
Uh,
me, I'd never do that.
yeah,
I
I'm
don't know.
kind of shocked to hear that. I would have thought, like, in your backyard. I mean, obviously, if your neighbor's like, "Oh man, the arrows keep going over," that would be a little bit different
Yeah.
overall. But like,
Yeah.
just in your backyard, not harming anybody. I mean,
So how far do you have to go to shoot clay pigeons and things like that? Like a 10-minute drive, 15-minute?
probably 30 minutes if I want to do it at the range I like to do it at. They let you bring your own thrower, and it's pretty like you're an adult. They don't have to watch over your shoulder the whole time, and you can kind of have a picnic, which normally when I go with friends, bring some barbecue or bring a cooler of drinks or something.
Do we get into the barbecue segue now?
Oh man, it's a controversial take, man. We have strong opinions about barbecue,
Oh,
but
all right. Here we go. Here we go. Uh, the audience that's here. If Warhopper leaves after I say this, it's because I've said the wrong thing. I like barbecue that isn't necessarily super smothered in sauce. I like a dry rub.
yeah. Here's the thing, right?
Okay.
And I would say maybe like Texas barbecue is specifically about this. Sauce is a crutch for you don't know how to cook. There's a
Yes, yes.
controversial take, but like, you know, you should not be using sauce. If you have like smother it in sauce, I know you didn't cook it well. Every flavor should come from, what's on the outside, what you've smoked with, and I should be able to taste that smoke and not a bunch of sugar in a sauce.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why we love Warhopper. This is the only correct take. Come at me in the comments.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, I feel the same way when it comes to steak, salt and pepper, S&P. That's it. Um, I've started doing burgers. I will allow like cheese, like a cheeseburger, but I don't like to douse any meat specifically with sauce. I like you said, I like to taste the meat. If you've seasoned it well, if you've cooked it well, it already gives a good flavor.
Yeah, I mean, especially with steak, it's like I'll put maybe a little bit more than just salt and pepper, big
Oh,
on
sure,
garlic,
sure,
big on onion. So, you put
yeah.
some onion powder in there. But like besides that, if you're putting like sauce on it or like you gotta put like peppercorn, anything on it, I'm like, I don't know. Kinda
I
just
mean,
yeah.
do you have a griller or do you have a grill? Do you grill or do you smoke at your house or where you live?
Yeah, so last year my fiance bought me like an outdoor smoker for a Christmas present, it's electric too. So, you can like turn that thing
Oh,
on and turn it off. So,
yeah.
I wheel that outside the garage of this apartment I live at. So I'm sure my neighbors love me, but no one's ever complained. And, you just smoke right there, man. I mean, I haven't done anything huge on that. When I was a kid, we do briskets overnight and it's a whole process and all that stuff. But this, I've done like sausages, stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of boudin, which is, do you know what boudin is?
No.
It's like it kind of local, I guess. It's a Cajun thing, but it's like rice and sausage put into like a sausage link, and it's really good, especially smoked. That's my biggest hit when I have parties.
How do you Boudin?
Yeah,
For the audio listeners, I'm just googling what. How do you say it again?
boudin.
Boudin. I'm googling what it looks like. Oh, dude. So it's you don't have to have a side because there's rice in there already.
Yeah, it's like an all-in-one meal, all in one, and they make it with tons of meat, gator, pork. They make it. I've had rabbit boudin, pretty much anything.
Okay. So what is your go-to thing to smoke personally? Is it boudin and
It's boudin and chicken wings. Those are my like. Anytime we have a
oh,
party or something, that's my
yeah.
go-to is
Yeah.
chicken wings and boudin.
Can you educate me on the difference between a grill and a smoker? Obviously, in my mind, a smoker it's a prolonged period of time. You get more smoky flavor and things like that.
Yeah, and it's lower heat. So pretty much all the heat is just kind of like it's below 225, I think, is what I've seen for almost all of them. And you're burning wood in a box, and then the smoke is what's kind of cooking it, the smoke and the heat. So it absorbs over a longer period of time.
Are they uh on average cheaper than a grill?
Uh, No, I think probably grills are a little bit cheaper.
Okay. Okay.
Just because the ones that are cheap, they do have cheap smokers. Don't get me wrong. All you need is wood and a box at that point. But
Yeah.
those are I find pretty hard to use. You gotta really make sure the wind's not up and the outside temp's good and all that stuff, but that also makes the best. So, you get some sacrifices.
Yeah. Do you plan on who brings what or who smokes or grills what whenever you have the picnics and things like that with your friends?
Yeah, pretty much we kinda decide in advance. I like cooking for people. It's a little stressful, like, I get stressed of like, "Oh, this isn't my best," or, whatever, but
Oh
then
yeah.
at the end of the day, I always like doing it. So, I normally make the meats, and then other people bring the sides, and then somebody brings drinks and all that.
Dude, I wanna come down.
Dude, come on down. You, Simon, everybody just should come out. We'll all go shooting, have a picnic.
For those that do not live in the US, it's normal kind of. It's normal to have long drives, so to
Mhm.
speak. I was talking with Tangus and James, how they were saying how Tangus had to drive 6 to 8 hours to from Denmark to the GMK meetup and then back. And I was thinking, oh shoot, like when we do family trips and things like that, 12, 13 hour days of driving, just driving each and every day, that's the standard. So I guess it sucks how a lot of things are far away, but I guess we've kind of acclimatized to doing it. So I could totally see the going down to Houston, going down to Texas, and just chilling with you, chilling with the community. Oh man,
Yeah, for sure, man.
yeah,
I mean, we're starting to have meetups again and all that stuff. So kind of like it's a good time. You know what I mean? It's always good to come down and hang out and meet people from the internet. Not dangerous
yeah.
at all or anything like that. No,
Oh
no,
no,
no.
no, no. Yeah, when you say starting again, was there a pause, or you just mean like this is the season where meetups are starting to happen because they don't happen maybe in the spring or anything?
I think the local scene, there was a meetup maybe like 2 years ago, and then they took like a 2 year break. And there was a big one outside in Dallas. And then like last month, we finally had like just a city one again.
I have a friend, excuse me, from my RuneScape clan who lives in Houston, and he says how horrible the traffic is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so he is from Houston. Okay. Yeah.
Is it bad?
Yeah, it's horrible, man. It is
Oh man.
horrible.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I'd say you get used to it, like we were saying about long drives, but, it's so edge of your seat with other people being mad and everybody's
Oh.
mad, everybody's hot, everybody just wants to get where they're going. You don't really get used to it, actually.
Are the meetups usually downtown or like a place where there's a bunch of traffic or
There all the ones I've ever been to are downtown, and honestly, those are probably the best. There's a joke that Houston is an hour away from Houston because of how far everything is. You kind of
yeah.
just got to get used to it. So, kind of the central point is the best.
Okay, okay. And where is it held usually? Is it like a bar or a brewery or just like a convention center?
Actually, every time I've gone, it's a different place. The first one was like a coffee roaster's warehouse. And that one was cool. I mean, all of them are cool. And then there was a brewery that was actually really dark, and I don't think they ever had it there again because nobody could see anything. Like all the little details completely lost on you because it was pitch black in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, And then the next one that I just went to was in a coffee shop.
Compared to Iowa, is it small? Like, how many people do you usually get?
The local ones, I think one that was 2 years ago that I went to, it was probably I mean, there's probably 100 people, honestly. It was,
Oh,
like, quite a few for just the city. And then, the last one I went to, I think it was about 25 people.
okay, that's
Yeah.
what I'm more used of 'cause, Iowa, we get 25, 30 people.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And, the the Texmech community, the big one, where that's in Dallas, right?
Yeah, that
Or
one
was
was
in
in
Dallas?
Dallas, and that one was huge. That was, like,
I was just gonna
100.
ask.
Yeah, yeah, that was hundreds of people.
I'm sure there's pros and cons to both a small meetup and a large meetup, but what were the differences, the biggest differences for you? Did you like one more than the other? Do you spend more time this might sound super obvious, but do you spend more time at the smaller meetups with people, and at the big one, do you just more kinda meander around and don't spend so much time personally with everybody?
I actually felt that way, yeah. I think the big one I really enjoyed and it was super fun, but, people are, like, meeting tons of other people and it's really fast paced, and at least for me, because there's a Tex-Mex Discord where people talk and everything, I'm probably a little more familiar with the Houston group. So, it's kinda you're meeting new people, you're walking around, but I like the local one that we just had because people brought interesting stuff. I'll say, like,
Oh.
the bigger one, people brought a lot of key colts and stuff like that, which is really cool to see, but, when it's, like, the 19th or 20th key colt you've typed on, it's like, yeah, but the local one seems to bring out people that bring really interesting stuff.
What, d do you remember any examples off the top of your head? Like a lot of splits and things like that, or
A lot of splits, a lot of just, like, a couple people brought, like, proto GMK sets, they were, like, prototyping with them, which was super cool. The biggest guy, I don't know if you ever seen him, he has a website, Asymplex.
I do not. I do
He
not know.
does, like, resin, keyboards or keyboard keycaps, and then he also does keyboards now, and they are super inventive, super unique. He brought his own mouse that he had prototyped, and I am, like, sold on that mouse. Yeah, there you go.
Holy cow. Okay, so keycaps, obviously.
Yeah, and then, I think that's a preview of one of his keyboards, and that one, that he brought, like, a few of those, and we kind of played with them, and they were super neat. They're negative angled.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, and he makes dye as well?
Yeah, he makes
Dyes?
dice as well. Pretty much, I just love his stuff. So, actually meeting
Yeah.
him in person and, like, seeing them in person totally sold me on it.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree with you though. When again, I've only been to the Iowa meetup. I will go to the Minnesota one in a couple weeks, but I've only gone to the Iowa meetup this year and last year, and I was the one. I was the key cult guy. I don't have a key cult, but I was the one who brought the more mainstream boards,
Okay.
and then everybody else. Obviously, Jack Piketty, he has crazy boards. He has a long boy. He has the Fingus, the cat one,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
favorite
yeah.
one. And then, like you were saying, everybody was bringing their DIY projects, hand wired. There was this one guy who put a solenoid and some custom keyboard. A lot of people had blanks for the keycaps. A lot of people had like split ergo, like dactyl, things like that. The thing where you put on your wrist and you can type like this.
Oh,
There's this
those
like
things are
little
neat. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
The ones, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, this is the craziest thing. These are the craziest things I've ever seen. And it reminded me how obviously there's a purchasing aspect to our hobby, right? You buy the keyboard, or in some cases you get gifted the keyboard, things like that. But purchasing the keyboard obviously is a big deal. But it just reminded me about how as long as you're happy, it could be a bare PCB, no case or anything, just uniform keycaps like DSS or something, blanks, and you ask them about it, and the joy and enthusiasm you see on their face when they explain to you, "Oh, this is what I did. This is the reason why I did it." It's just amazing. It
Yeah.
yeah.
That's by far the best part, about those. I mean, I'll be honest, I always bring probably pretty common boards. I'm definitely not like, I don't have anything hand wired and all that stuff. But seeing all that stuff, I always leave like those things are great. They inspire you to want to try something a little bit different, see if it works for you or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah. I agree for sure. Which brings us to, for those of you that don't know, I'm gonna say Warhopper is the king of XT column keyboards. Dude, we hang out in James's Discord, Masjewerke, however you say it. And there's a photo channel. And a while back, Warhopper posted in that photo channel of the most amazing collection. Like, holy shit, dude. It's just amazing. It is just so amazing. All right, here we go. Tell me, good sir, how you got into these XT com boards.
Let me tell you about my monument to consumerism. No, I honestly, I got my first one. It was the Rama Zenith,
Okay.
and dude, I just thought that thing was the coolest looking board I have ever seen. And I like after that, you hang around keywords, you're talking to people are trying things, and more just kept coming out. And like, thankfully, I was able to like purchase or trade or whatever to end up with the collection I had. It honestly, yeah, there's a lot of XT boards, it turns out. And when I tried to get more into like, let me track down some of the historical ones, that was where it turned out there's a lot of historical ones, and I just had to kind of take a step back from that.
Oh my god. Which one is the Zenith? Oh, is this the oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to lay them all out, and I had a problem that of like, oh wait, what table? But the Zenith is the green one there. That one right there, yeah. And that was like the Zenith, and that was like probably my first one, and I loved that. And then somehow somebody sold me a JO1 that had been a part of like a private buy that's like all purple, and I loved that one. And then it just kind of took off from there.
Is it the aesthetics? Is it the usability of the XT column? Is it a bit of both?
So it definitely started out as usability. I just found it super comfortable once I did my mappings and like got it all going, that like, oh man, this is actually super comfortable, and I like can get used to it super quick. And then also I just thought it looked cool. And I mean, let's be honest, like half of custom keyboards is like, this just looks neat, you know? Um, So I kind of started with that, and then yeah, it ended up I just got used to that thing, and this really built up over the course of like 5 years. Just make sure
Yeah.
that I didn't like mortgage my house, or anything like that. Like, I bought responsibly, I made sure I could buy them, and it just kind of built up over time.
And you have the great OGR. Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's my keeper table. If you ever are curious, those are like when I laid all these out, I thought like, okay, I'm gonna narrow down my collection a little bit because it's becoming a little too much. Like, I don't use them, and that's kind of my normal thing. Is like, if I don't use it, I don't want to just have it sitting there. And that was my keeper table.
It's a raw W1?
Yeah, it was bolded in EEAT, which is kind of his take on the W1. And yeah, it's a hot swap plateless version, and it is really nice. I really like that one a lot. Actually, he did a really good job.
Can I ask you what board you have right now in front of you?
Yeah, and actually, you're gonna kill me. I actually did not have an XT board for the first time ever. I've bought a non XT board. I traded a
Oh.
guy, and I ended up getting a Bion Linja. Is that his name?
That sounds good to me.
Okay, Bion Linja Object One. And it is actually my first Hall Effect board. It's probably my first 60 since I began the hobby. Um, just straight 60, and I really like it actually. You know, kind of opened up a new avenue for me.
Oh, it's not the one with the alien on the back? Or is it the
Not
one
the
with
one
the
with
alien?
the alien on the back. These were like, can I hold it up? Is that weird?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. It's
Okay.
like just raw with like a
Oh,
bunch of
dude.
art on it and or a bunch of like patinaing on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it kind of came out pretty cool. It just has the three eyes on the back.
that's amazing. Do you like the unfinished raw variants of keyboards?
Yeah, I've actually really turned out to really like that. I think that is probably my favorite right now is doing that instead. It just looks so cool, you know? Has so much character.
This dude, every single thing that he said is on point. I share so many of the same things that you like. I the reason why I have this on my desk right now was in preparation for you, but the little
Yeah.
October Muramasa.
Oh man, yeah. The thing that drew me to James's Discord, and I saw that thing, and I still think that is one of the coolest keeps, man.
Oh man, it's like you said, the raw thing. I'm a huge like medieval history nerd, or I love Bannerlord. I love medieval video games, things like that. I use the term battle worn, um, for good or for better or for worse, because you can see every machining mark, every scratch on these raw finishes. It's cool. It gives a character, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it gives like a really nice character to it, and I don't stress out about scratching it. I don't have to worry about it.
It is sometimes cheaper. I don't know, like $20 or so on, but it's not about the price, right? It's just about how cool the raw thing looks like. So
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I think that's the thing. Is it the $20 is like that's great, but like the actual character of it and everything, that's what I think I like more than anything.
when it comes to finishing, have you ever thought about Cerakoting a raw keyboard, or trying to get reanodized, things like that? Or you've never thought about that?
I don't think it really crossed my mind. I don't know if it's just how many vendors that Cerakote have just gone out of business or had like something happen that I'm like nervous to send it away for Cerakoting. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've never really thought about it. I just thought keep it the same. No matter what, it's not gonna like, rust or anything, right? It's just we'll get more and more patinaed and it'll be just that much more character.
Yeah, exactly. And I asked you that because of a selfish reason. Um, I set my Bakaneko to space cables, before they scammed everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was going to send another keyboard to, lubed.
Oh god.
And obviously, we all know how what happened with that. Um, there are a lot of Cerakoters in Texas. I guess it makes sense, because guns, Cerakoting, things like that. I was just curious if you ever looked around your area, because I was gonna ask you for your recommendation, but yeah,
Dude
man.
dude, I think everyone that I knew about has gone out of business, and only one of them went out of business well. All the others, like, something terrible happened with, and, I think that kinda drove me away from it. People do really cool things with Cerakote. I just
Yeah,
don't know where to get it done at this point, and honestly, I think I'd probably send just an anodized board before I
yeah,
sent one of the
yeah.
raw ones.
Have you been have you suffered through any scams? Have you ever been scammed? Like, were you ever a part of, like, a space cables purchase that you never got, or like a Rama thing or things like that?
Yeah, goddamn Noxery got me. Noxery
Oh.
got me. And then there was another vendor in Texas who did some keycaps, and I don't know what happened there, but he had them in his garage, and then we never heard anything else from him.
Yeah.
And to this day, I've never heard anything about that order or anything.
Is it a vendor we know?
Um, honestly, I
You don't
forget
have to.
his name on the
Okay.
actual vendor name. It's been so many years now that you just gave up and moved on.
What do you think about the barrier to entry when it comes to our hobby, in terms of being able to start a vendor business, or maybe run a group by things like that? Obviously, it's quite different now. I know you've been in the hobby for a while. It's quite different now compared to a couple of years ago, where literally anybody off the street could run something as long as it sounded or looked cool, because the COVID boom and things like that.
Yeah.
And now it's a lot less. We get newer designers here and there, but it's not like it was back in 2020, 2021.
Honestly, I
How do
kind
you
of think
feel?
it's. Oh, sorry. Go
You
ahead.
think it is?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit better, honestly. I
Okay.
mean, the vendor ones, I mean, there were so many projects that shouldn't have made it because for one reason or another. And I don't mean to put down anybody's art, but like some of those GMK sets were awful. And some
Yeah.
of them are just money grabs. I mean, there are so many beige sets with just like slightly different versions. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, kind of returning to where it's just like community running their own group buy. I think that's actually, to me, a better and more interesting turn. It made me more interested in the hobby rather than just like everybody runs through novel keys or everybody runs through canon keys. Or if it's not those two, it is truly up in the air if you get scammed or not.
Yeah, yeah. Is it it's never gonna go away, right? The ability to say I'm like a 20-year-old dude, never heard of me before. I post on Geek I get interest. That part of things is never gonna go away, right? We just have to manage our risk accordingly.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, really, that and try to set a little bit better guidelines just for if you're going to join or not. In COVID, people were like, oh, I'm just 20 years old. I'm in college. I'm going to run this group buy. There's no limit. And I'm going to take
Oh god.
150 orders. And it's like, there is no way this is ever going to end well for anybody.
Yeah.
Um, and just, I mean, to me at least a big warning sign is that like you have a group by undelivered and you run multiple others. That's when it becomes like, yeah, maybe the community shouldn't buy into this. Maybe we should just say no and let's deliver the first one, let's prove that it's going to be okay, and then we move on.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you. What we're seeing now, I I was in the hobby, so I joined the hobby. I bought my first mechanical keyboard in 2017. It was a Logitech G710 Plus with Cherry MX Browns, but I never bothered to get into the community until 2020, 2021. Most of the companies that will scam or have scammed, they're already gone. I'm not saying that it's 100% safe. Still don't know what's going on with Valid Supply. I mean, obviously their sets are being sold by Novel Keys, Omnitype, so it's not going well. But now it seems like we finally cleared all of the scamming companies that tried to do what you said, tried to run so many projects at one time. It was all during COVID, and once everything started fulfilling, they just have a bunch of extras just sitting there and they can't sell it. I think we're over that hump. But what do you think? Obviously, it's. I'm not saying that it's always going to be safe going forward, but I think we're seeing with lubed going away with Vala. I think we're in the clear, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as it goes, we are at the point where most of those people are gone and nobody or less people are looking at it as a source of profit. I mean,
Yeah.
I think like with things like novel keys, they kind of lost some of their community goodwill.
Uh-huh.
So, it's become a little less acceptable to like really be here for profit. I'm not, judging anybody who wants to make $100 on the group buy. Please do not go broke for a group buy. But definitely there were so many people who just did not care at all and just were here for the profit. They run their thing. It maybe delivers, it maybe not. And like, I just don't think that's a good way to go. Also, group buys got shorter when we were more accepting of like 3 years for keyboard delivery. That really was a crazy time. I mean, we were kind of asking for that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The thing that I love, the thing that I've been recently, that's recently been my interest, is going and finding smaller designers that run their passion projects or their private run things or their prototype runs. Be it obviously Holly, he's not small. He's well known in the community. But Remy that we had on, Rukia that we're gonna talk to next week. In a sense, before he got famous, before he got super well known, James,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
were one of the first people that joined his Discord, and it was just small projects. Well, it was it was XMI Vintage, right? The
Yeah, it
first
was
thing.
XMI Vintage, and I can't remember if the ISO pad came before or after that. I think that was like right in that initial time frame too.
And then now look at him. There's like 10 different channels with so many different projects going on. Our boy has grown up.
Dude, I'm telling you, he took off. I remember when he had the thing open, like, I'll take any commission, just message me. And I was messaging him insane ideals. that thankfully he did not waste time on. Just crazy stuff. I
Wait,
mean,
can you explain some of them? Obviously, I'm not, like, wanting you to do it if you're afraid that someone will steal the idea or anything like that.
no,
But
please. If you steal my ideal, I mean, it is financial ruin for you that only one person would be interested. But,
yeah.
like, I'm talking, like, full-size XT boards, numpad, everything so long they took up the desk, are, like, very vintage inspired. I really like James's, like, vintage touches to all his boards. I always thought that was super cool, and that's something I really like in boards.
Yeah.
So, just I forgot one that we talked about was, like, that split board that Cherry made that I think Simon's doing, like, an open
Yeah.
source version of he's gonna run, but don't split it and add some more rows to it was like one thing we talked about.
Yeah.
But like still have it split, like an Alice. But yeah, I think he was always welcoming to talk to me about it, and like we came up with names that I thought were cool, and like
Yeah.
it was a great time, man.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. That is so James. He is so nice. He's never too big for us, right? He's always humble. He keeps that humbleness with him.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
I've messaged him about some really dumb ideas after that too. Just wondering if it was possible or like whatever. And the dude will hear me out every single time and give an honest opinion.
oh, that's so nice. Well, one of the things in James's channel, my little segue here, is DCS Vintage Support, Warhopper. Can you explain what this is for the audience?
Yeah, at the most basic level, I really think the 21XX is like one of the coolest boards to come out. I think that thing is peak design. I just love that thing so much. And I really love DCS. And you know what looks good on everything? Beige. So, really, what I wanted was DCS 21XX support. But when I started looking at like more options, James incredibly kindly was like, "Why don't you call it vintage support? I mean, it already has like a pedigree." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "Yeah, go for it, man." And I used that name and I came up with ideals, and people came up with way better ideals than I ever thought of. Like my original kidding was like, let's get an up arrow and a bunch of blanks and like let's call it at that. And people had like really good ideals to make it look that much cooler.
So what again, I'm not asking you to dox yourself.
Yeah.
Is it just because you've been in the hobby and as a keyboard hobbyist, or how did you is there anything in your professional background or maybe growing up that helped you to do this?
No,
To, like,
not at all.
organize a project? No?
It
Okay.
it is honestly by the grace of help channels and discords of me like vaguely asking like you can just order from, SP. You can just message Signature Plastics, and the same woman who's worked there for years, she'll just send you back a quote. And I just thought, like, okay, well, what if we did like a small kit? And, it just kind of took off from there, man. I don't think anything really prepared me more than just talking to people, and people have a lot of experience with it.
What did you do to you emailed Melissa, or how did that start?
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly, I came up with the idea. I kind of did like a rough outline. And then before I think I told anybody, I emailed Melissa and was like, "Hey, this is what I want." And at that point, it was just releginables for the F row, the super huge F row.
Yep,
And
yep.
she was like, "Yeah, it can be done. It's this price. If you want to do 10 MOQ, 25 MOQ, or 50 MOQ." She like laid it all out. And then the up arrow, I just asked if that was possible. And they're like, "Yeah, definitely possible. We don't care what row. We'll like come up with something for you." She was super welcoming about it. And I asked a couple more questions that probably in hindsight were pretty silly about like, "Hey, could we do like a macro column on the side releginables?" And she's like, "Yeah, you can do it. This is the MOQ. As long as you want the MOQ in the price, it's good to go."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's what we talked about. I know SP, there's some things that aren't that great. There's some things that are great. Obviously, that happens with everything. Doesn't GMK, SP, Kikobo, whatever. But it's so nice that SP caters towards the hobbyist, a custom product, right?
Yeah,
It's
for
awesome.
sure.
Oh man, I know life and things. You got busy and things like that. But are there any updates that's going on with this project that you want to
Yeah.
share?
Yeah, I mean, as far as it goes, I definitely need to still talk to Tangus to see if he's interested because he was going to help me out from the European side. Because the number one thing is, I do not want to take people's money and then order. I think that was like one of the first things that I knew I'd be uncomfortable with is like, I do not want to take people's money and then wait to order. For me, that'd be incredibly stressful. Um, I want to order and then just resell to people.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I need to talk to him about it, but I was really planning to come back at it in like a month or two and at least get the order in, get everybody a set that wants one before the 21XX ships. And then there's a couple other boards that supported like the diversity. And I thought we could all get that out before it went thing. I kind of took a break from it when we found a kitten and I really put time into that. I know that's like a weird excuse, but like
No,
dude, I bottle fed this kitten and I just like since then never had a cat. I just watch videos, try to read about how to raise a cat so it's like a good cat, you know?
that's amazing. Tell me about that. So what happened? You found the kitten outside? Or
Yeah, I was driving out. It's like kind of a countryer area, kind of rural, and I go out there because they have like the non-ethanol gas. So I like that. So I went out there and out of the corner of my eye, I saw something run across the street and I realized it was a kitten when I was like, it's on the feeder for the highway. And I realized it was a kitten. And unfortunately, its mother was dead. So I know that's a very sad detail. But I saw the kitten. So I stopped and me and my girlfriend got out and tried to like pick it up. And at first, it was super resistant. And then it actually, like, soon as we started to walk away, it started to cry because we were gonna go get a coat from our
oh,
hands so we
yeah,
could pick it
yeah.
up without getting scratched up because it was swatting. But as soon as we walked away, it started to cry, and then it just let us pick it up, and since then, that thing runs this house.
Oh, man, that's so sad. I almost started crying when you said it started to cry.
I know, I know. How could you
Oh,
not do something? That's the thing is, yeah, so I kinda got busy with that for the last couple months and just trying to do my best, I guess, would be the best way to put it. And then now she's a little more independent. Like, I feel like we're on the good track, and I'm, like, kinda coming back to keyboards and, getting interested in all that stuff again.
yeah. Tell me about that. So what's her name?
Her name is Chili, and
Oh,
yeah, it is purely because we ate at Chili's that night, and we thought, "Yeah, man, we got the triple dipper, it impressed us, it shocked
oh.
us." Yeah.
I'll maybe I'll save this, for a different tangent, but Chili's is fucking awesome. I don't know what they did. I know they rebranded and, like, upgraded or whatever, but it's not your old Chili's. It's amazing now.
Dude, I love it. I
Yeah,
think they just embraced what they did. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, God knows I'm not the fittest person on earth and like, all that. But like Chili's knew what it was. It rang the bell and I came running when they started doing those triple dippers.
Oh, it's so good.
Uh,
Oh, man. So, Chili, what was the hardest thing that you had to figure out in terms of raising her?
definitely like the food aspect and like what behaviors are normal. And then she was probably a week and a half when we found her and we had not had a kitten. So it was like a lot. Like we had to do the bottle feeding when we realized she couldn't eat. And, we tried to like get a little more educated on that. And we did the bottle feeding and then weaned her. She probably got weaned a little early, but nowadays she's good. I mean, she eats her food and all that stuff. I'd say that just the learning aspect of like making sure she's fed and like we have a baseline that she's healthy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then came the fleas we had to tackle, and that involved a lot of baths and a lot of cuts.
What happened with that? Is it normal with kittens?
Yeah, I guess for like wild kittens, I mean, she was like truly out there. So, she was covered in fleas, and there's not much you can do when they're that young, from my understanding. When I had talked to a vet about it, all you could really do was wash her in dish soap, just and make like a ring around her neck and like don't touch her face. So we would do that every day and wash her with non-scented dish soap. And, after a week it helped, but they were still there. And then finally we just kind of kept up the routine of every couple days we do the baths. And finally she got to the age where we could get like back of the neck flea killer. I don't even know what it's called, but
Oh.
the flea medicine you get for the back of their neck. And that took care of it in like 2 days. We just had to get her to the age to take it.
Can you explain why they have to be old to do that? Or a
I
certain age?
believe it's just their it's poison that goes on their bodies, I would
Oh
imagine.
shit. Oh, okay, okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, just like that when they're so young, they're so vulnerable to everything. So, it's just too young for their system. So, that's why we waited till at least the vet we go to was like, "Yeah, okay, it's safe now," and knocked it out, man.
That's awesome. That's so cool. And is she like a cuddly kitten? Or she's a cat now? I don't know how old she is. She's like she's still
I
kinda
think she's like 3 or 4 months now. It kinda got away from me on time. I'm terrible with birthdays and stuff. We're not celebrating the cat's birthday, it turns out, but, she, yeah, she's like mix. I mean, she's a mix. She calls us Havoc. They said a Torby. I guess she's a Torby because she has like a tortoiseshell pattern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, are like particularly
Yeah.
hectic. Female ones are like particularly hectic. So I mean, she goes from like she wants to be held at my desk while I work. You know, she's on my desk. She wants to be held. She lays on her back the entire time, and that's like 15 minutes every hour. But then besides that, she's climbing bookshelves. She's like on top of the TV that you can vaguely see out of frame. She's
Uh,
everywhere at once. The dogs, she like hunts them down.
oh, that's
So
hilarious.
they put
They
up
they
with
they
her.
put up with her? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they put up with her. One of them really likes her. I mean, he is excited every single time she comes out. He is, like, super pumped. He's super gentle. Of course, we
Yeah.
never let him around. I know someone in the comments is gonna be like, "Don't allow him around the dogs." We never allow him around the dogs unless we're there with them watching overarching, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Did
Yeah.
do you, does she want to go out? Like, do you have to let her out?
Not
Or
yet,
she
no,
doesn't
and I
care?
don't think I'm gonna do an outside cat, especially apartment living and kind of planning to move is like, I know the shock of it each time.
Did you also go to college around this area or
Um, yeah, actually, I went to community college. I have a degree in
hell
art,
yeah.
a very useful thing to have, but, no, it made me happy, and I think it ended up working out, you know? Most people just want anything to show you go to college. Yeah, I went to a community college. I dropped out of high school, and I went to college a little late, so I went a little bit later.
Was it something and I'll explain why I say this, but was it something where you were working and you thought to yourself, might as well just go to college and get this taken care of because I want to get an art degree and things like that. Were you stuck in like the 9 to 5 grind and you just realized you wanted to go to college?
Yeah, honestly, I was really sick of working retail jobs and like
Yes. Yep.
all the stuff around that. I feel like people go two ways when they don't have college. It's like restaurants or retail, and I went the retail way, and it was awful. Um, so I knew I wanted to do something different, and it ended up being that I got certifications. I have an art degree, but I have a bunch of certifications for my profession. So the art degree kind of got me by to just have an associate's and be okay with that. And then the certificates kind of took me the rest of the way.
What type of things do you do? Do you do graphic design or other types of art?
I no, I'm actually totally like the art degree. Like I appreciate like, film and art museums and all that stuff, but like that was just kind of a means to an end, but I ended up really enjoying it. The more art classes I took, especially around like art appreciation and stuff, it kind of changed my perspective on it and made me appreciate it a lot more.
I think that's awesome, and I'll explain why. And this is the disclaimer. Our thoughts are not, you shouldn't take our thoughts to heart. Everybody's experience and situation is different. Um, don't feel like you have to follow in our footsteps, but I think it's really awesome when you go to college at a later age instead of going straight from high school. And I want to get your thoughts on this too. But so my kind of background is a lot of my friends went to college after high school. I became a Mormon for a girl,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
as one does,
Yeah, obviously.
right out of high school. Um, but that obviously didn't work out. So I came back. I came back to Iowa, and then I worked. I finished high school, but I just kept working. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Um, a lot of my friends that went from high school right into college, they were not happy. They were telling me how they felt like they were forced because of their parents and things like that. Obviously, some of them were happy, right? Um, but in the grand scheme of things, what 17-year-old knows what to do with their life? You know what I mean? There are some that do, which is awesome. But I got stuck in that 9 to 5. I worked at a grocery store. I worked at Hy-Vee, which is like a grocery store here. And then I transitioned to finance, transitioned to insurance, and shoot, I was mid-20s, and it was kinda getting to me. The 9 to 5, if people are happy with that, that's totally fine. I was not happy. I kept thinking, is there more to life? Is this how I want my life to go? Just not happy. And even if you don't know what you wanna do, if you do something if you're in a shitty situation for long enough, you definitely know what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
I did not want to do the 9 to 5 of a job or a like a place that I didn't want. If I was working at something that I really enjoyed, maybe my experience was different, but I was working retail, grocery store, finance, I wasn't happy with it. So when I went back to college, I think you also felt the same way. I wasn't going just because I just wanted to get a degree, like you were saying, I knew what I wanted to do, I had an interest, and that really helped me appreciate college more, and I think I did way better because, we're more mature.
Yeah.
We know that that we can't take this for granted. In class, we pay attention, things like that. We do things the right way because we were passionate about going to college because we had, like, a reason to go, versus maybe going straight from high school, you don't have a reason other than to just appease your parents and things like that, but
Yeah, it just kind of
yeah.
felt like with high school especially, it was that everybody kind of followed like a set path. And even in high school, I kind of knew that maybe that wasn't for me. And I ended up not finishing high school. And I ended up doing like a homeschool thing for, I think it actually was for Mormons, which is weird you brought that up. But it was very much like, just do it online, man, and we'll sign the paper, you know?
Yeah.
And back then we used Quizlet, back in the good old
Yeah.
days. Yeah,
Yep, yep.
we used Quizlet. But yeah, I just found that after I worked longer, I had a good work ethic. I had decent positions and stuff, but I just wanted something more than just barely scraping by or, not having security. And that was something that I felt like when I went to college, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I had to take some remedial courses and like make up for all that stuff because I hadn't finished high school and it had been, God, like at that point 6 or 7 years since I did math. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
actually with a piece of paper doing math, not coming
Yeah.
up a lot nowadays. So, like, I did the remedial courses, and I just felt like that was the right time for me to go.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. It's always different for everybody, the right thing to do. If you're right out of high school and it works for you, you're happy, that's fine. If you go back to college when you're an adult, that's also totally fine. It just depends. It's so awesome, dude. It's so awesome whenever I talk to someone that went back to college at an older age. What I kept telling myself is, I don't know, some arbitrary age. Do I wanna be 30 with a degree or 30 without a degree? No matter what, I'm gonna be 30. Uh,
Yeah.
might as well get a degree. This was years ago, obviously, but yeah, man. Was art something that you really liked when you were growing up?
Um, yeah, a little bit. I was really into the music scene and, like or especially around metal was, like, a big thing to me and kind of all that. So, I mean, that's kind of an extension of art, you know what I mean? So and they didn't offer a degree in heavy metal, I wish, but, so I chose art at the time, and I went through that, and then Um, I ended up not I ended up I'm gonna go back next year and actually start my bachelor's degree because I'm finally in a position where I can start it. And art
Yeah.
actually came out ahead on that. You can really easily transfer that and all that stuff. Art was just I mean, art affects all of us, right? But
What is your dream job, or what would you really love to do? Uh, it could be right now, whatever you're doing right now.
it honestly, I'm in like my dream position right now. I mean, I know some people like I very much. work to live. So if I can go to work and do my 40 hours a week, and I work, an 8 to 5 job, and I work from home most days. And then I have the like security to do what I want to do, and on the weekends I don't have to worry about it and all that stuff. Honestly, that's about as close to a dream as I got. I never really thought about like I'm going to be happy every single day doing this. Like that didn't really cross my mind as much as like let me just do something that like I can have dependably and I can do well. Because I mean, doing things well definitely helps get you security fast. So it ended
Yeah,
up
yeah,
being like I work a technical job for IT kind of thing, and it just was something I was already like decently good at. And once I got started, it became easier and easier to advance.
that's awesome. And when did keebs come into the picture? How did you get into keyboards?
Actually, when I got into keyboards, I was working my first job at a Best Buy, and I wanted to build a custom PC because that was kind of coming back at the time. People building PCs, and when you're doing that, you're like, I want a cool keyboard. I want some
Yeah.
lights. So I got a Razer Black Widow. Like the
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then it just come out with the tournament edition, so it was a 10 key, it was a 10 key list, and I was like, "Oh yeah, man, it's so much more effective." And I got into that, and then I started using that for a few years and just kinda reading about PC building. I saw someone had a Poker 3, which was
Hell
like
yeah.
yeah, it was like a 60%, and I was like, "What do you even do when you don't have those keys?" And people explained layers, and I was, like, blown away, so I picked up one of those, and I used that all the way to, like, 2019. I used that same poker, and I loved that thing.
Dude, I'm gonna tell Colbert because we had Colbert on last Thursday, and he said the same exact thing. Something that he really loved is the "Show me your poker" or something like that on Geekhack. There's like a thread,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, there
and
was.
and everybody 60% were the gateway, and in a lot of cases, it was the poker.
Yeah.
So,
That thing was everywhere. I mean, everybody you either had that or you had, like, a Ducky or Razor Black Widow, and that was like a gateway. I remember I saw on when I was researching it, like, somebody had custom keycaps. I was like, "You can change the keycaps?" I
yeah,
was blown
yeah,
away
yeah.
by that, man. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I remember I wanted those Neon Genesis Evangelon colored ones they had back then that were popular. I was like, really wanted them and never got them. So,
Oh,
yeah.
do you remember your first keycap set ever?
Yeah. Okay. So, like in 2019, I was like more secure in a job and I was like, yeah, this poker's cool, but like I had seen ergodoxes like the splits ergodoxes. And I finally was like, I'm gonna buy one for myself as a treat. And I bought one and I built it, the most obnoxious build, stacked acrylic, stainless steel plate, box navies. And then I
Oh,
bought
man.
it was SA Vilebloom, the Pokemon themed one.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I'll admit this thing was tight. Like I was hyped on this board for so
Uh,
long. I just thought it was the coolest thing. I think that's probably the first keycap set that I like really went out of my way to buy and use and everything.
and you're someone that you have 60%, you have splits, or you had splits, and you have big, like, full sizes, or you have big XT boards. Do you have a favorite layout at all? Or you like all of it?
It changes, man. I After that Ergodox, I learned about 40% keyboards. And for like a
Oh,
year, I was super into 40% keyboards, and they've come a long way since I was into them. I mean, this was like I downloaded Discord. I remember it was like, what is this weird app they talk about them on? And people were designing cool stuff. I mean, I was trying all different kinds of layouts, and then eventually, a friend I met on there was like, "Do you want to try a Kai?" Like, it was a 60% with a brass bottom, and that thing at the time was really popular. And I tried 60% again, and I was like, "This is cool, but like, I feel like if I'm going to do a big board, I want F row."
yep.
Then that Rama Zenith hit, and that changed everything.
That's awesome. Did you have a boomerang too? Was the boomerang one of the ones that was in your collection?
No, I actually haven't tried the boomerang. I like his designs, Laminar's
Yeah.
designs. He has really cool stuff. I have only have 2 Alice-inspired boards, and actually, I go back to those a lot. I don't know about the science of it being more ergonomic or anything like that. I feel like people kinda are like, it's ergonomic because it looks like it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think they're comfortable. And I got from a guy I messaged, CHICKENMAN. He
Hell
done a
yeah, we had him. Oh my god, you have the Chicken Man, Alice?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Holy shit!
I bugged him and was like, "Hey man, this is a dope design. This is like my favorite thing." It is it's on that photo. It has Cosmos on it, so it's like black on black on black.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh my god.
yeah, I
The
got one.
Noctis, right?
Yeah, Noctis. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, you and Gondo have the same interest because Gondo was like, Chicken Man, I know him because of the Noctis. The Noctis is fucking amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. Honestly, Chicken Man, when I messaged him about that, he responded really quickly. He was super open. He knew somebody who had one that had set in a warehouse, and he
Yeah.
was like totally open to facilitating me buying it. I That's still one of my favorite builds, favorite filling keyboards. It sounds really cool. I mean, that thing could have been a hit, like if more had come
Man.
out. Yeah.
I need to get both of you on the same episode then. I think um yeah, in the near future I want to get you both and I want to get Gondo. I want you to be on every single episode. It's amazing. It's amazing how uh how much interest that we share and how many connections we share. The Noctis, that's fucking amazing. Gondo was like, I knew Chicken Man because of the Noctis.
Yeah.
And then you talk about all these things. It's amazing, dude. It's oh dude.
Dude, I've always had
What's
the
the other
feeling to just message people. If you want to talk to somebody, just message them. And like most people are open, man. Like people like to talk. You know, I like to talk. I think I mentioned when you messaged me about this is I'm really chatty. And like, yeah, people like to talk about their things, you know?
it's so nice. Obviously there's always going to be some rotten apples in every single community, but it's so true. We always say the community is the best part of the hobby. Everybody is so helpful, everybody is so kind because they understand what it's like to feel so excited about an item. If you like they know what you're feeling because we feel it every single day. It's just fucking amazing. And if you ask someone for help or if you reach out, 9 times out of 10 if they're not busy, they're gonna help you out. They're gonna respond. It's so nice. It's so amazing.
Yeah, it's a cool community, man. I mean, people are really passionate about this thing and they want to talk about it and they want to share their knowledge. I mean, I feel like nowadays, like I felt like maybe a few years ago, people didn't want to talk about like how do you order from a manufacturer and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's become more open now. I mean, it's probably the best time to actually be doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. What is the this keyboard? Real quick.
Yeah,
I
please.
want to ask because I thought it was the boomerang, but again, I'm not a smart man. What is this one?
Oh, that's the Arc by Show, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, it
okay.
has the wood edge on it. That thing is so cool, man. And he was talking about doing another one that was like vintage inspired. And I thought that was really cool too.
And this one is the Noctis, huh?
Yeah, that's the Noctis. Yeah, I put black keycaps. I put on it a black board, just everything perfect.
So you were someone that can touch type, huh?
Yeah. Can you touch that?
You know what's weird? And we can get into this the gaming arc or the gaming segue. When I type, I think it's my right hand. It's my right hand that just kind of flops, or is
Okay.
it my left hand? Well, one hand just flops, and the other is fine in terms of home row. I can touch type, but it's such a janky a way of doing it, but it works for me. But yeah, one hand always flops. I don't know. They call it like
Okay.
the gamer hand or something. I don't know,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
but
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't do blanks because I do have to look maybe once every maybe 10 or 20 seconds down
Okay.
to reorient myself, but
Yeah, to
can't do
like kind of
blanks.
grab your position. You know,
Yeah.
I don't look at my keyboard, but I must like semi see it out of the corner of my eye because when I do type on blanks, I make more mistakes. And it's like I must subconsciously like somehow look down at it. To give benefit to the Noctis board, the keycaps on it are by a guy from Texas who ran GMK Cosmos. So it's like,
Ah!
yeah, it's like black on black. So it's there, But
Yeah.
unless it's direct sunlight, I cannot see those legends.
Who is he? Is he is that Kaptain Mike? Is
Yeah.
that the guy?
Yeah.
I want to have like a Texas episode with a bunch of people in the Texas community.
Yeah. You'd have
I
enough to fill a podcast.
oh dude, I wanted to get Farhan on for this episode, like as a guest co-host, because I saw you had the reflection.
Yeah.
The reflection, right?
Yeah. I'll have to
But yeah.
share. There's a really funny message about the Farhan and the other guy that always hang out in his Discord. Like before they announced the reflection, they knew we were gonna love it, and they were just like pumped to reveal it and then show it to me. I mean,
Yeah.
not at all designed for me or anything, but I just remember that message that they had sent, and then they shared it with me later. That like he's gonna be pumped about this.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Again, back to the Texas community. Khalil from KNC Keys. I know he's in the Pacific Northwest now, but obviously KNC Keys used to be in Texas. He used to be in Texas with his family. He kept saying how everybody down there where you're at, everybody's super connected, everybody's super tight knit, just willing to help, just such a nice community.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is super friendly. I actually went to the KNC meetup in San Antonio just on hapstance because a friend of mine was going to be there, and I was like, I want to meet him in person while I'm in the area. But yeah, the Texas community super welcoming. I'll tell you from a story that like Blindassassin, who is intrinsic to everything in the Texas community, I feel like he's in everything. Uh, I bought one of his boards and I had trouble with the sound of one of the keys on like the Toper kit, and he met me at a coffee shop and we
No.
looked over that board. Like I just on a hapstance message, I asked him like, "Hey, do you think this is a problem?" He was like, "Meet me at a coffee shop." We took it, like took the caps off, listened to it. He gave me suggestions. Like he was super friendly to come meet me.
That's so nice. Is KNC Keys in San Jose?
I think he was in San Antonio back then. He was in
Okay.
San Antonio. I was doing some work somewhere else and just knew they were going to have a meetup and my friend was going to go. So I went down there to meet him finally. I had talked to him for like 5 or 6 years online and just
Yeah.
never met him. Uh,
Isn't it awesome when you put like a name to a face
Dude,
in
yeah.
real life?
It's super cool to actually like you talk to somebody online and then you meet them and it's like, oh, okay, this very much grounds you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, going back to this, I know it's here and there, here and there. I apologize to the viewers or the listeners, but tell me about the meetup, the Texmech meetup from last year. Like, how was it? I know we briefly touched about it, how it was kind of fast paced and things like that. But who 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 stood out to you in terms of who did you talk to? Um, any awesome stories, like connections? How was everybody? Yeah, just
Yeah.
everything.
I mean, as far as it goes, it was huge. So you're meeting a lot of people and you're walking around trying people's boards. And I'll say people weren't close enough to really talk to about their boards. But I met Farhan and it was like right before I built my reflection and I tried his and he had good advice on how to build it. I thought that was a really cool interaction. Meeting just tons of other people I had talked to online. I remember one guy came over and was like, "Hey, my name is Sev," or something like that, and was like, "I'm online." And dude turned out that like he lived not far from me and we talked for a few minutes and was like I ended up meeting him at a coffee shop later to hang out. um and then just meeting people that I had like really liked, like Spooky, who does spooky
Oh,
artisans. I actually don't even
uh,
know. um he was a designer out of Dallas and I met him at his booth and he was like selling his B stock and I like talked with him for a moment. Super cool dude. Had a really amazing like insight on doing artisans and what inspired them and all this stuff. It was really cool stuff. When he does drops, I'm always there to like see him.
damn. So you're into artisan?
Sometimes I'm like a
Okay.
fair weather person. Like sometimes I'm into them, sometimes I'm not. I think
Same.
they really pop on good boards. So like I try to have one that matches a keycap set, but I'm not every single week on the bongo sales or whatever. I know some people are like grinding that hustle, but I just can't do that. I've entered
Yeah.
rubber hose raffles for like 3 years off and on,
Yeah.
and I've never won one. Like I've never
Yeah.
won one, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that is what it is. That's my takeaway.
Was it Captain Sterling that ran it? No, right? It was like a group effort.
Yeah, Farhan and some other people that were in the Texas community, Jan, and I know they were some of the primary organizers, and there were more. There's a couple streamers that I hadn't recognized before, but I knew.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, how were the streamers? I'm sure they were all super awesome and humble. I don't know who, like, what's shoot, Click Clack, right? No, Clackbait.
You know,
Clackbait?
actually didn't mean clackbait.
Okay,
Actually, no, they
okay.
did clackbait, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Clackbait, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I've seen a ton of his videos, but I don't think I ever met him. I met, I think she's retired now. She did like a bunch of really goofy videos, sound tests, and they were awesome. She had like a super huge connector and like a big
Yeah.
switch. I cannot for the life of me remember it. She retired, but I met her. She was super nice, super pleasant. I think we talked about one of my keyboards for a minute. And then anytime I ever go to these meetups that there or in San Antonio, I always meet Xinxinwong, who's
Oh, yeah, Patty, yeah, yeah.
yeah, Patty. Yeah, yeah. She's built a ton of my boards too, and we've talked online about it. And yeah, she's always cool to meet. Yeah, just tons of people. The streaming thing, I'm like a VOD watcher. I don't watch. I don't ever watch anything live. I feel like it just never quite aligns for me. So I always watch VOD. So I always feel like I miss out on that a little bit.
It's mostly trolling and shit talking with a bit of,
Yeah, right.
actual yeah. I I have a similar story about, who are you talking about? Nainaigogo, right? Lydia?
Yeah,
Her
yeah.
name is
That's
Lydia.
the name. Thank you.
Her streams are a vibe. It's not for everybody, similar to Black Simon streams, but she is fucking hilarious, and I've heard, I don't know if this is, leaking information, but I've heard that she is not like that in real life. She's super down to earth, humble, and, you know, a lot quieter.
Yeah, I say yeah. That kind of lines up with
Yeah,
my experience. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 Oh, she's awesome. I again, when I bought it, Space Cables was legit. I bought the big connector because of her, because I saw she had one.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know, that should have been one of my first warning signs is that I don't think Space Cables went in person to that. And like, I feel like if you're not coming
oh.
out, maybe something's up, you know? But
Oh, that's true, that's
yeah, it could
true.
be wrong. I did meet Bowl there, and Bowl, like, I asked him so many questions. I probably bugged him so much about asking
Yeah.
about a couple of his designs, but dude was apt to talk to me. Very nice.
The thing that is so awesome is Bowl seems like he's everywhere,
Yeah.
and he is so nice. Out of all the new designers that have come out in the past 2 or 3 years, 1 or 2 years, like, Bull exploded.
Yeah.
I know he was a designer before he got famous, you know, he ran a lot of projects and he did a lot of commissions, but out of everybody in the community, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, right? He's
Yeah.
just so awesome.
Yeah. He was, yeah, super nice. He did a lot of cool projects. I feel like anytime the small designers they serve their time in the anime girl pipeline of like making the anime girl boards, and then they
Yeah, yeah.
get like then they're making their own stuff, and it's super cool. Lysol, if you're familiar with him, does a lot of really
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
designs. I have a couple of his boards, and he kind of still does anime girl boards, but he does some other stuff too. That's neat,
Gotta pay the bills to support the passion projects, right?
dude. You gotta respect the waifus before you pay before you start doing the other stuff.
Oh my god. I again, I can talk to you for hours. You're fucking amazing. But the one thing that I want to talk to you about before we get into the good keyboard friend of the week segment and we end it is, are you a big video game and or movie enjoyer?
I would say I'm very much both. Yeah, play
Okay,
a lot of
okay.
games, watch a lot of movies. Yeah.
What are some games coming out that you are really interested in, and what are your favorite franchises or games in general?
So I think all my tastes in games pretty normal. I play the Doom that just came out. I was really excited about that. I love the Doom games.
Yep.
And then I just got done playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. That like the first and second one. That took me probably like 5 months to play. I'll tell you, I think that's the best game I've ever played. I love that game. It was so good. That ending actually gave me some tears. The whole thing just hit so well for me. I don't know if I'm going to top that this year. I don't know. I think that was the top for me for the year. Besides that, yeah, I do a lot of boomer shooters, which is like Doom like games. I love those. They're just perfect to zone out to and like put something to the side on YouTube and just totally zone out. Don't think about anything. And I love that. And then of course playing games with friends. I did a ton of Ready or Not, and I still play that actually with my
Yeah.
friends quite a bit. And then we're doing Abiotic Factor, which is pretty
Yep.
fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Doom is so amazing. The music,
Yeah.
it's cool. I do this thing because I don't have time nowadays. Every now and then I do, but I don't. Where I watch the game cutscenes.
Okay.
There's there's a YouTube channel that combines all the game cutscenes, and it's kind of like a little movie that I can watch, and I can kind of know what the game's about. But do you did you play the other Doom games before this most recent one?
Yeah, I had played those, and then they got me into the old ones, and I started downloading like the mods for the old ones, and those mods are better than most full length games. Some of the mods are unbelievably good.
Really? What like what for instance?
There's one that's like Western themed, and all it does, you can feed it any levels you want, but it just changes like the core guns and move set that you can move around. So it makes it like way faster pace. You have to actually reload a revolver, and it just changes how you play. And then there's one, and there's like a level pack. I forget, it was called Ancient Aliens or something like that. It's like that theming in the desert, and that is like one of the best packs of levels. It is people that have designed levels for 30 plus years made this, and it is like perfect from beginning to end.
The modded community, similar to the game, the keyboard community is just super nice and super base as well, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
honestly, the Doom modding community, I'm sure there's some other stuff in there, but every time I've ever interacted with it, those guys are passionate. They love what they do. They critique each other really nicely,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
very kindly, are like, you could just tweak this. And like, they're good suggestions. Yeah.
Do you like the pacing of the newest Doom game? I heard that some people didn't like it because it was slower paced compared to was it Eternal or the very first one? I
Yeah, it
can't
was,
remember.
there's 2016 Eternal, and then the new one's Darkest Ages.
Yep,
And
yep.
I'll say I like the game and it's fun, but it definitely maybe took a step back in how fast it is.
Mm.
There's not like double jumping or sprinting or like air dashing or anything, and it makes it play much more slow and more methodical. And I think I like the more like breakneck speed.
So you were like an Eternal fan, basically.
Yeah, yeah, I really loved Eternal. Yeah.
I think I really want to have so here's the thing about being in charge of, a podcast with, your friends. You can do whatever you want. I wanna have a couple video game episodes specific, um, in the future, and I'd love to have you on because a a lot of, a lot of us share the same passion of video games. Like,
Yeah.
it's a huge part of, our lives, so I will let you know. I'm so happy that we have had so many awesome guests on, during the week because Sundays are our normal, main time slot because that's when usually James and Tangus can make it,
Okay, yeah.
um, Sunday at 10 AM, Central. But these 2-a-days or 3-a-day 2 weeks or 3 every, 3 times a week for the US, like you tonight, um, Colbert last, weekend, and then Rukia next weekend. Next week will be the last time that we're having scheduled 2 weeks. So, I'm so grateful for everybody that has come on the, weekday night slots, but I am looking forward to the pace slowing down a bit because we're so behind in terms of our backlog for our release dates.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
here's the question, Warhopper, and this is a question that we always, we debate back and forth. So we like to have a release once a week. Um, it's not as bad now because we don't do 3-hour episodes as often as we used to, but it's tough to have more than one release if your episodes are super long. But on the other hand, we're 5 or 6 weeks back in our backlog. Colbert's episode is not gonna air until, like, mid-September. So what do you think? What do you think we should do? Should we do 2 a week releases? 2 times a week? Should we stick with our 1 and just ride the backlog? I'm putting you on the spot here, so
Yeah. You know, I like the once a week, man. I'm probably a little bit behind listening just with the once a week. I mean, that's kind of my pace, at least with listening to things, is like, I think that's a good middle ground. Once you get into like 6 hours a week, that's definitely a commitment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I think we'll stick with the once release every week, for now until it gets, like, super bad. We can always release 2 if it gets super bad, but alright, I'll bring it to the lads that Warhopper has spoken.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
I and again, I will we will have Warhopper on for many, many more episodes, but we will end today's episode with a good keyboard friend of the week segment. Um, this is very near and dear to me, as I'm sure it is for a lot of people. But it's just so nice to nominate someone or to shout someone out from the community, whether they be some famous person or some big name, or could be your neighbor that nobody but you knows about. You know what I mean? Um, someone that's done something nice for you, something that they've done for the community, can be something big, can be something small, whatever. If it's positive, we wanna shout them out. And there's a couple ways to do it. The first and most forward way to do it is to go to hugemeatbox.com/nominate or nominee. We have Simon to thank for that
Dude,
that
it's
that
memorable.
website.
At least I'm not gonna forget it.
Oh my god. I'm like, "Simon, is this safe for work?" But it is. It is. It's just our link tree. The very first thing is a Google form, and you just type in the details. You could put your name as anonymous if you don't wanna, put your actual name. So that's the most forward thing. Um, the second thing is to reach out to us on Discord, via DMs, me, Simon, Tangus, or James. And the third way to do it is to either comment on the YouTube videos or on Spotify. So, there's a lot of different ways to get your nominations out there, and we love reading them out every single week. So, we really appreciate it. It's something that's really important for us to to give a platform to the people that have been nominated because they're awesome. Um, without having awesome people in our community, it's just like any other hobby that you just purchase stuff, right? You don't
Yeah, for sure.
you don't have
Yeah.
any interaction. But I'll give my nominee for this week, and then I'll pass it on to you, and we can end it. But I am half Indonesian and half German. I bought GMK Alert Round Two, Diego's set. Um, was it last year?
Feels like it, yeah.
Damn. And because Diego is an artisan lover, as I'm sure you know, and as I'm sure the community knows, I thought to myself, I'm going to do something that I never do, and uh, try and enter a raffle for one of the artisans that he collabed with, artisan makers. And one of them was wild keycaps. So he goes by the name Fear Ron, on Discord, but he is from Indonesia. And being half Indonesian, I like to support Indonesian makers, designers, things like that. Uh, a lot of people got their GMK Blue Alert artisans quickly, promptly. I did not. Uh, apparently, the USPS sent it back. They didn't try to deliver it to my address, even though they said, no, no, no. They didn't even reach out to me, Warhopper. They didn't give me the correct tracking number either.
Uh,
And I reached out to Fearon, Wild Keycaps, and I said, "Hey, can you look into this? Because it's been like half a year, if not more, since the raffle ran, and everybody else got their artisan." And he let me know that it was returned to his house. I'm like, "Oh man, come on!" Like it's crazy. And obviously, I said, "Can I please pay for the shipping to have it reshipped to me? Let's use DHL or something that's not USPS. I'll pay the difference. It's totally fine." Not only did he agree to that, and I got my artisan,
Hell yeah, that's tight. Yeah.
he dude, he gave me 2 more artisans free of charge.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Like what a dude. And I'm not saying this to how do I say this? I'm not telling people to this story so like they have there's like it's like a sob story and they should spend money at Wild Keycaps. But he's genuinely a super nice dude. He's not making a fortune with these keycaps, with these artisans, not many artisan makers can make a living off of artisans. And for him to do that out of his own pocket, it just means everything. It's why I love the community. It's why I love the Indonesian community, for sure. But yeah, if anybody is a big fan of Wild Keycaps or they just want to check him out, please check him out. He's such an awesome dude. Um, I've made a friend. It was a good keyboard friend, and now it's just a friend. Making good friends to the keyboard hobby. And it's just amazing. So for our nomination for the host's nomination for the week, it is Wild Keycaps. It's Fearon. Thank you, dude. I'm sure you'll see this. We talk every day. You're fucking amazing. I appreciate everything that you do. So with that, I'll pass it to Warhopper.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's a great story. I mean, what a
Isn't
perfect
it?
ending, you know what I mean? It worked
Yeah.
out. Oh, that's great. I would say my thanks is to a friend that I met years ago on here, and we don't talk very much anymore because life got busy and all that good stuff. But definitely, when I started in the hobby, his name was Pogos, and he dude, he would hear me out on things. I could ask him questions. He was more than willing to answer. We had really similar interest in keyboards. And, just through it all, he shared his knowledge. I asked him very dumb questions about stabilizers or switch lubing, and he was always happy to hear me out. We always did things. He introduced me to like higher end keyboards like the Kai and all that stuff. And he was always super nice to hear me out. Yeah, just a great guy all around to talk to. And yeah, man, I just remember you getting me started in the hobby, basically. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, Pogos. Is so he's still in the hobby, kind of in the community a little bit?
Yeah, I see him pop up, like every couple months he'll pop up and he'll like have something he'll talk to me about or, a post in our Texas Discord. He's the one that introduced me to the Texas Discord, which led to me going to meetups, which led to me getting more interested in stuff. And like, yeah, man. Yeah, man, he really opened the door for me and I can never be more thankful to him.
That's awesome. Thank you, Pogos, for bringing Warhopper into my life, into our lives. That's just awesome. That's just awesome. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to spend like thousands of dollars. You don't have to save. I don't know, vendors going down. Bring a friend into the hobby.
Yeah.
That's one of the greatest things you can ever do. That's amazing. Thank you, sincerely.
Yeah. A great dude, man. Hopefully I'll probably talk to him in a couple months.
He's gonna be blowing up, like Simon says. We're blowing up.
Yeah. I'm gonna
We're
blow up his inbox. That people are gonna be asking him questions. Why do my
yeah.
stabs tick?
Oh, that's awesome. Again, Warhopper, truly, I am so appreciative of you. This has been the best 2 hours of my week. I had a shitty work week for sure. So this is amazing to end a Friday night with. Um, we'll have you on again for sure in the future, but um,
Thank you, man.
yeah.
It has flown by. It's been so easy. I think I was telling you, I like to prep for things. And really
Yeah.
for this, you gave me like a vague outline of like, we may talk about this. And like, honestly, the 2 hours have flown by.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh man, it's one of my many weaknesses and failures. Tangus always gets on me. He's like, "You gotta have structure. You gotta have structure." I'm like, "I'm trying. I'm sorry, but I don't."
Ah, man, it's like the Grateful Dead. We just gotta feel it out and let it go,
there, you-
you know?
there you go. Um, yeah. On behalf of me, on behalf of Black Simon, Tangus, and James, thank you, Warhopper. Thank you to the viewers and listeners to this podcast and episode, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Goodbye.